What's up, guys? Today we are going to be talking about Peak, the main character from the novel Peak by Roland Smith, and how he changed throughout the whole book. In the beginning, Peak was an entitled know-it-all who didn't care for anybody or anything. He took his life for granted, and as a result, he didn't take into account the effect that his actions would have on himself and others. When he got arrested for climbing a skyscraper, he was hit with a dose of reality and realized that the world did not revolve around him. Peak was then told that he had to go live with his father, whom he had not seen in years. This was nerve-wracking news, since he did not even really know his father. When he caught wind of his father's plan to take him up Everest, he knew that his life was about to change, for better or for worse. Towards the middle of the book, Peak started to realize the kind of person that Josh is and how selfish and uncaring he can be. During his childhood, Peak used to send Josh letters in hopes to talk with his dad. When he got letters from the twins, he realized that Josh had ignored him his whole childhood. As a result, this caused a lot of resentment towards Josh. This resentment only strengthened when he found out that Josh was using Peak as an advertisement for his company, Peak Experience. After being on Everest for a while, Peak began to miss his family. He began to regret all the mistakes he had made in New York and hoped for a fresh start. Near the end of the book, Peak gets a phone call from his mom. She instructs him that if he wants to summit Everest, he will have to be completely selfish. To be a skilled climber, he would have to care for nobody but himself. Later, towards the end, Peak finds out that Sunjo is planning to summit Everest with Peak. He feels betrayed by Sunjo and Zopa for stealing his opportunity, but then realizes that it is Sunjo's only hope for his family's future. Peak has been on the mountain for a while and has learned a couple of things. He has become much more mature and realizes how much he misses his family and how much he wants to go home. When Peak and Sunjo are just feet from the summit, Peak decides not to summit in order to help Sunjo live a better life. While coming down the mountain, he begins to accept the kind of person that Josh is and tells Josh that he wants to go home. The book ends with Peak saying this: "The only thing you'll find on the summit of Mount Everest is a divine view. The things that really matter lie far, far below."